I'm sure I look ridiculous. I always look ridiculous, but what am I going to do about it? Hey, everybody, it's Tom. It's been about another month. I'm recording this vlog a little bit early. Today was supposed to be a Labyrinth day, but things didn't work out. The disk images, all the disk images just plain don't work. You can play a good bit of the game and then it just stops working, and how far you can play varies from image to image, but it still won't let me finish the game. There's a bit more about this and my remorse toward it. I've been severely bummed for a little while now. Down in the description. The most important thing you'll find there, though, is a link to Kim Justice's review of Labyrinth. It also includes the Famicom version of Labyrinth, which I completely forgot existed. It never left Japan, and it's a pretty neat game. She also wraps talking about both games in a tribute to David Bowie, and she is far more poetic than I've been in a long time. So go watch that. Even if you don't read my nonsense babble in there, go watch Kim's video. Kim is probably my biggest inspiration for really getting into the nitty-gritty and making these videos. I started watching her stuff in December, and in January I was making videos on a regular basis. So go, if you're not already watching her stuff, go watch her stuff. Watch the video I linked to. Subscribe to her. She's great. Speaking of subscribers, thank you for being a subscriber. If you're a new subscriber, welcome to NerdNest. This is what we do here. I make videos about video games, and I get really frustrated with old technology not working correctly. And then I talk about that on camera, and then I do a little show every month called Why Did I Play That? Last month, Why Did I Play That? was on Escape from Alcatraz, a neat little Apple II edutainment game that was bundled in Scholastic's Microzine. Really good response to that. I was incredibly surprised. I had mentioned the game's writer while making the video, a woman named Lori Hopping. She found the video, commented on it, and also retweeted it. A lot of you might be subscribed to this channel or have seen that video because of her. So big thanks to Lori Hopping. And she brought in Amy Kefauver, and I sincerely hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Amy Kefauver was the editor of Microzine back in the day, and apparently she also eventually settled in my hometown because her kids went to the same school. So you can see their comments on the Escape from Alcatraz video. So big thanks to them. This is such a cool thing. The internet is actually making the world a little bit smaller. I never would have presumed to have interacted with the creators of a game I loved as a kid until all this happened. So it was just a cool thing. I was over the moon that day. I am debuting a new show this week. I mentioned it previously. I really want to talk about Frankie Goes to Hollywood, the computer game. Yes, there was a weird little adventure game type thing released for the Commodore 64 and the ZX Spectrum in the UK at the height of Frankie Mania, which we never really got in the US. We got Relax, and everybody was like, okay, and we got Two Tribes, and everybody was like, all right, and nobody was really terrifically excited. In the UK, Welcome to the Pleasure Dome, the album, huge. So huge. Every single just about was a hit. Big deal. They got a video game. Zizat Magazine, which reviewed Commodore 64 games, loved it. They gave it a great review and later went on to call it the best Commodore 64 game of all time. I'm just going to spend 5 minutes talking about it. The concept for this show, which I'm tentatively calling Outsider Insight, is me doing about 5 minutes on something I don't really know much about and have recently learned about. I didn't grow up with a Commodore 64. I'm not from the UK. I'm not as familiar with Frankie Goes to Hollywood as the average person my age from the UK probably would be. So that's what I'm going to talk about. Just being like, here's this weird game about this weird band. Not too much, just pointing out some neat things and showing my appreciation for them. That might be kind of a sporadic kind of show. I may not do that every month. Just when I want to say a little bit more about a game than just, hey, here's the game, or do a whole why did I play that, because in this case, I never played this game. So that will be coming out this Sunday. Frankie, the computer game, Outside or Insight, look for that. Why did I play that? We'll follow that not this coming Wednesday, that's tomorrow, but a week from today will be Why Did I Play That? I'm going to delve back into MS-DOS and talk about a puzzle game I enjoyed in the early 90s. It's a British game, and it involves ants. It doesn't involve giant ants attacking things, because I never had a ZX Spectrum. I don't think anybody in the U.S. did. There were a couple people on the Timex Sinclair, but that's another story altogether. So be on the lookout for that as well. That one's going to be a little fun one, probably short and sweet, like Escape from Alcatraz was. And who knows? Maybe the fine folks in the UK who created that game will be able to track me down too. Next month, April, I'm doing kind of a spooky themed game. It's not actually scary, but a spooky themed game for Why Did I Play That in April. Maybe I would just play monster or zombie or ghost related games. But I really don't have the energy to curate my selections next month. That's what I'm trying to say. And also, rather than just doing one game like I've done for the last 3 months now, I'm going to switch it up a little bit. And each Let's Play episode is going to be 10 to 15 minutes of a different game every day. For some of them, I'm going to go ahead and hit up the Twitter suggestions you guys have been making. That list is growing. Some of these suggestions are incredibly bizarre. Some of them are games I will probably never be able to play given my current resources. Some of your suggestions probably lend themselves to short videos. I'm going to pick a couple of those and play those. There's also a couple dates in April that are relevant in some fashion. Things happen that mean things. Things happen that mean things. You can tell I've been up all night. It is pushing 6 a.m., probably after that. I don't know when the sun's coming up. I've been a bit of a vampire lately. I'm making this video and then I'm going to sleep. Long story short, stuff happens in April. Some of the selections for Let's Plays next month are going to be timely. They will fit perfectly into the context of April. It's also Edutainment Month, so I might do an edutainment game or two just to participate. I already kind of did an edutainment game for Why Did I Play That last month, so I'm not terrifically excited about edutainment right now, but I could probably throw in 1 or 2 games and talk about them for a few minutes. We'll see what happens. I have the first couple Let's Plays ready to go. I might even play around with the schedule next month. It's April. Anything can happen. Anything. It's like Thursday on the Mickey Mouse Club. I think Thursday was Anything Can Happen Day. I don't remember. Lastly, in addition to Twitter, which a lot of you guys have gravitated toward, and YouTube comments, I'm also going to go ahead and post my Steam and PSN information in the description of this video. I use Steam and PSN if you want to be my friend there, if you want to play some more modern games with me on there. That's awesome. Maybe we can get together and do some streaming stuff at some point in time. That's all I have to say. I actually wrote things down on paper, dead trees, because, hey, I'm recording with my phone because I don't have a real camera, and this thing records far better than the webcams that I have access to. One of these days I'll have a real camera. One of these days. For now, I'm going to sign off. I'm going to get some sleep as, again, the sun is about to come up. I'm practically Count Duckula over here, minus the vegetarianism. I'll see you folks back around on Sunday for Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Again, apologies about Labyrinth. Go watch Kim's video. As always, the bear hugs are free. Good night.